as opposed to watching, a drum circle on television or watching protester getting beat up on YouTube. We wanted to bring context to the entire story so that people could actually understand what it was.
We're the founding director-producer team behind the documentary film 99%, the Occupy Wall Street collaborative film.
When Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus, or when 4 black students sat down at a lunch counter in 1960, no one expected that 4 years later there'd be a comprehensive Civil Rights Act.
One of the things that struck us immediately was the diversity of the people who were involved in this movement, but also how many different issues they were talking about.
We have a lot more stuff to get through.
It seemed like such an opening, such an opportunity to talk about these issues that had been bubbling underneath the surface in the country for so long. The role that money plays in politics.
Student debt crisis.
The criminalization of protest in America.
I ran over there and took photos of 2 girls that got pepper sprayed.
Foreclosure crisis. I think that the unchecked power of the financial services industry really is pretty well at the core.
It's a big story, and the issues in there are still very much present in our country.
This talk of class warfare is really a cover for class warfare. Class warfare by those who are benefiting from these trends at the expense of most Americans.
I think there's a lot of factual evidence that supports the idea that things are not very fair economically in America. And I think people have the sense that the American dream isn't maybe possible in the same way.
Well, the film is structured looking at various legal and economic issues from a macro perspective.
This is our message, 99% and 1%. But it turned out that was a really important thing that they did because it accurately reflects the situation.
From a micro perspective on how they affect individuals.
Cops just grabbed me. I've been arrested 6 times. I've been beat, pepper sprayed, I get chased. I have no more tolerance for you and your badge. I respect the blood and I respect the flesh, but I do not respect that badge.
We're not part of Occupy Wall Street, but we thought, okay, this is this really oddly collaborative thing that we're witnessing. If we're gonna do a film about this, then what if we sort of mirrored their processes? We have 4 directors on the film, we have 6 co-directors. We have about 100 collaborators around the country.
This is the proudest I've ever been to be an American in my life.
Something that we heard a lot was that the system is broken and no amount of engaging with it is going to fix an inherently corrupt system. And that worries me a little bit. I don't think anyone thinks that, Occupy was like a slam dunk. Job well done, everybody pack it up and go home, America's fixed. But I think that any sort of expectation along those lines would have been absurd. I think this is an ongoing conversation that people in our country who care to address these issues should be having.
Thank you for coming here.